tonight goodbye to these children, and they're going to go to Germany and Holland in November. So next time you see them, they're going to be so famous from traveling overseas. So it's our great pleasure. Our conductor is Aki Malapani, and I'm Melanie Creel. I'm the leader of the choir and the school, and enjoy.
No, because yes. Wababisa bokunoa, wabakeli nganawe, nganoa. Wababisa bokunoa,
I thought I would hear people dancing. Wow, I'm so disappointed again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm sound welcome to the Goede Hoop Marimba Band. Thank you very much to the Huerta Marimba Band. And as they say, music truly is the food of life. And as they say, music truly is the food of life. I think in honor of the fact that it's just got such great young talent, could we just encourage these young musicians one more time with a thank you? From the beautiful music of Africa, we're now going to be indulged by poetry, romantic, inspirational, and sensible. Please welcome warmly South Africa's most renowned poet of her generation, Lebohang Masango. She want to exchange. Thank you. Good evening, good evening. What would we be if not for the wisdom of grandmother's hands? Her aged folds of skin hold secrets, prayers etched tightly into crow's feet, back bent because she survived the worst of what humanity can be. But the warmth of her body, hugs that know you, and all the women you have ever been. You, her, your mother, your great-grandmother, all are present in the room every time you get together. You, daughter, make your whole bloodline smile. Every time you step into the world and conquer everything from doubt to dark days to difficult degrees, just is alive and live honestly. You are their pride, their gem, their first of many. And if nothing else, we women are the first women to keep surviving a global catastrophe. Women to keep surviving a global catastrophe. Between the climate crisis and the pandemic, keep going against the gravity of grief is nothing short of epic. We women are always first to get up. We wake the day, confront cold snaps and frozen dew, prepare families' baths and breakfast before work and school. We women put in work, fruit and veg and stock. Women put in work, fruit and veg and stock, sweet salad, hair braiding, ever entrepreneurial and enterprising, because this whole family's got to eat. From this horizon to that horizon, we women make houses into homes out of a little more than 2 fish and 5 loaves. We women raise communities with our bare hands, bear the bridges on our back to get everyone over to promised lands. We women have been first. First to be misnamed, displaced, and disgraced, violated. They have mistook us for boulder, for rock, and bruised. But bless our ancestors who summoned all their strength to let the world know that spirit is made of something stronger. Bless their journey, bless their hearts, bless their feet. 20,000 strong to Pretoria they marched for you and me. Bless our ancestors whose fists gripped the sharp edge of spear of the nation in time of trouble and triumph, tear gas and trials, through betrayals, beatings and brutality. They mothered, they mobilized, and they marched to give us all a home in this country. So as we women stand on the precipice of our individual destinies, we know that what makes us great is how we have survived, lived, and thrived through erasure, violence, or silence, keeping community close as that bridge to get over to the side. We our place as every generation before us has done. We whisper to the future, the best is not yet still to come. We are here and the now of it. We are the most brilliant and the best to ever do it. We are the gold and the glory of all of it. We have been waiting for. We working women, we waiting women, we winning women, we warrior women, we want women, we working women, we waiting women, we winning women, we warrior women, we wonder women, we wander women, we warrior women, we winning women, we wonder women, we warrior women, we warrior wonder women. To-do lists for Africa. When you no longer hate who you are and the circumstances that brought you here, undress yourself. Reclaim your weathered body without fear. Stand naked at your Nile and hold your reflection, dear. Behold a brilliance. You cracked riverbed, rainforest, desert, monsoon, savanna, swamp, almighty Harmattan, spectacle of sand dunes are the wonder of the earth. Cleanse yourself, bathe in still waters, and while contemplating the future, flick the chip off your shoulder, treat yourself to a makeover. Dress in all your splendor, just like the days of old. Adorn yourself in the armor of oil, diamonds, and gold. Destroy the robe of martyr once and for all. Deprive the stain of colonialism any relevance or meaning. Pack your throat full of a narrative that truly believes in healing. Let it be your song, sung through centuries, decades, eras, and echoed by possibility, echoed by possibility, echoed by possibility. See, the sun will forever speak highly of me. Take the sandstorm of my skin as testament to the survival of Timbuktu manuscripts and the creation of Egyptian architects. Our blood carries the staying power of ancients. How solar rays cast exact shadows was our version of 9:15. So forget African timing. We exist in a time before time. The sun is our culture. Take this to-do list as a lesson, and once again, let love be our nature. Africa, I am begging with all of my brownness, unlearn the word pirate when speaking of poor Mali people actively controlling the destinies of their seas against European greed. They are protectors. Unlearn the wrath of fire, the way hatred burns down bodies in Diepsloot and rapes in Alexandra, leaves the devastation of desperation in its wake. Poor against poor, but nothing is being done by the state. Never forget Harambe. Unlearn your blemishes. Unlearn Idi Amin, Mobutu, Bashir, Mengistu. Unlearn civil wars, coups, blood diamonds, kleptocracies, xenophobia, genocide, child soldiers, and casualties. Unlearn your ugly. Africa, my love for you is a broken mirror in my chest. Sits heavy in the cavity of my chest. like dusty boxes full of Fela Kuti songs and a history bleed by regret. Between these nervous conditions, things fall apart, yet still we rise. Unapologetic history bloodied by regret. Between these nervous conditions, things fall apart, yet still we rise. Unapologetic for our breath, occupied with survival and sky. Light is what we are, pieces and pieces of turmoil, disaster, first world can't see. Even when the first world can't see us. When it cuts to tell the truth, when the ignorance of our tongues lick salt into each other's wounds, when it hurts to heal, when the taste of freedom is not yet as familiar food like abuse. Africa, I promise to stop throwing your name around. I vow to reclaim all that honors the origin of we without fear. Bloodied but never broken, we are still here. Thank you.
Thank you. And as she says, we winning women, we are the one we've been waiting for. I believe that's a poem in itself. It's a clarion, a slogan. It should be written into the constitution of the country for women to remember their worth in a country that often wants to degrade women, as poetry has just demonstrated. My name is Lerato Mbele, and I'm going to be your host this evening. It is a tremendous me to be here today to celebrate with you 20 years of dialogue, of shaping discourse, of challenging the status quo, of advancing an agenda for development, of challenging the norms and convention, of moving the needle, and of passing the baton so that we are the ones we've been waiting for. I often tell a story when people say, but the plight of women today is so much like the plight of women in 1956. It's true, except that my grandmother couldn't walk into a bank and buy herself a house. I can. Because of you, I can. What you do has an impact on generations to come. What we do is for the marimba band. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And for your effort in 20 years, we say thank you. Before I officially open the program, I'd like us all to just acknowledge the young talents we've seen in beginning the program. From the marimba band to the... They are the ones we are also waiting for. I look around the room and I see isikolo sakwaZulu. Ukuthi ngiye ma. Awuhle. Ngiye. Ngiyagiya. I also look around and I see meba peri dikobo tsa Siana Maren. Hore ke khibe. I see women wearing gele. I see women wearing beads. I see women wearing gele. I see women wearing beads. I see women wearing their crowns. You are beautiful. Sawid, please give yourselves a round of applause. So let me begin by saying, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the amazing women of the South African Women in Dialogue and your chapters across 23 regions of Southern Africa. Let me acknowledge you for who you are, our leaders, our sages, our teachers, our mothers, our judges, our spiritual guides. For what we do, we want to say thank you. For what is yet to be done, we want to encourage you. And for what it is, we want to celebrate. I believe it was Maya Angelou, a renowned poet and speaker of truth to authority, who said, we often delight in the beauty of the butterfly without asking ourselves about changes it has undergone. How many of us marvel when we see delicate, beautiful butterfly? And how many of us take a time to sit down and think to ourselves, what did it take in its puparium stage, in that cocoon, for this butterfly to become what it has become. So what do we know about a butterfly? We know it's beautiful. But do you know that a butterfly has a span of 30 millimeters? And as delicate as it is, a butterfly can fly up to 5,000 kilometers in its lifetime. And so in many ways, for me, a butterfly is a symbol of what a modern woman is. She may look delicate on the outside, but she has a very strong inner core. She may be elegant and dainty, but she can do the unimaginable. Also, in her becoming, she may have a hard exterior, but a soft inner shell. A woman, like a butterfly, is the symbol of incredible contradictions. In the strong and tough, the delicate and the vulnerable, bold and the daring. People try to define what a woman is. I think there's no definition. We just are. And today we are here to honor the becoming of an organization that recognizes that women in our diversity, we just are. And we shouldn't have to explain ourselves in a society where we are 51% of the population. We should just be. And here's to a season of being. What has been in 20 years and what is still to become. We are in Africa, and there's no auspicious occasion on the continent that begins without a reflection of a higher force. Whatever you call the higher force, God, a creator, the divine, we need to really lift up our hearts and our voices in acknowledgement of the invisible, that's visible in our within. And so please can we welcome warmly to lead us in prayer, the Reverend Zoe Mulapisi. I'm here. Are you okay?
Good evening. Kumnandi uba lapha. It is nice here. Mine is a very simple one. It's something that comes naturally to me because Paul says that we must not cease to pray without ceasing. So prayer and meditation is a state that I'm constantly in. So let's just all bow our heads as I do the opening prayer. Lord of all glory, creator of the heavens and the earth, the uncreated creator, when you created women and you created each every one of us, you paused and you said, it is good. So tonight we call upon you. Tonight we ask for your presence, although we know that in your word you says where two or more are gathered in your name, there you are in the midst of us. So thank you for being in our midst. Tonight, I want to pray for all the women here. I call upon you as the balm of Gilead who's able to heal our souls, heal our woundedness. Because in all of these conversations, in the poetry and everything that we're deliberating upon, it seems as a common theme that is threading through is trauma. So I'm asking you right now to heal our woundedness collectively and our wounded singularly. Lord, tonight, as I bring these women in your presence, I ask that they have a heart like Hannah, to trust you the way that Hannah did, and know that never to give up in the midst of trial, in the midst of tribulations, in the midst of difficulties, in the midst of challenges, but to know that you are always God, that you will never leave them, and that you will never forsake them. Right now, I just want to speak a special blessing upon each and every one of you. And I say, the Lord bless you and the Lord keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and give you peace tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you for that affirmation, Reverend Zoe Molapisi. I don't mean to preach. We're at a party, so we're not going to go to church, and I'm not even really equipped. But Reverend, perhaps you can support what I'm saying. You know, often my father accuses me of being a little me feminist, and he means it in a way in which like I'm a tyrant or something. And we were having a religious debate. And then he actually incidentally pointed out something interesting to me, because I was like, oh, all these women in the Bible are always portrayed in a particular way. And he said, and yet every significant religious moment has a woman in it. The birthing of a Messiah is through a woman. The death of that Messiah is first witnessed by women. The most significant things that happen under the ordinance of God is through women. So may we not by women. The most significant things that happen under the ordinance of God is through women. So may we not forget that. That's about as much church as you're going to get today. Okay, moving on into party mode. And party mode, Jesus did turn water into wine, so I think we're allowed. I think we're allowed. It's a birthday party after all. All right, as I introduce the person, Sawid, I think it's important for us to remember that in as much as we are dressed beautifully and, you know, we are just celebrating an interesting week of, I think it's important for us to remember that in as much as we are dressed beautifully and, you know, we are just celebrating an interesting week of convention, and, you know, we are just celebrating an interesting week of convention. The culmination is today, a 20th anniversary. The culmination is today, a 20th anniversary. Today is a birthday party for an organization that has been deliberate in its design to try to influence public policy, first in South Africa and then in the latter years within the region, to just make our leaders know, regardless of partisan politics or ideology, that women matter, that women are at the coalface of the economy and women shape the moral threads of our society. It happened consistently over 20 years and something we're going to really reflect on. And so with those words, please welcome of Sawid Umam Togo Mpumlwane.
Thank you, Program Director. You look wonderful, all of you. Just for you. I'm going to do three things, so bear with me. And let's just be here for a while because we are celebrating and as we celebrate, we reflect, and as we reflect, we have gratitude, and as we show gratitude, we also think ahead and say, how can we use what we have been given for the future? So I would like to thank the program director. You are just so wonderful. We were saying, here she is just doing it all for us. We don't have to say anything. Thank you, program director. I acknowledge Minister Dlamini Zuma, who is sitting here, Sawidian. appreciate Minister Marzala from the Seychelles. We have mayors and councillors here, wherever you are from Salga. Hey! Our founder and patron, Mezanele Mbegi. Oh, thank you, Hey, we have members of parliament here, not only from South Africa, but from other countries as well. We may have ambassadors. I don't see them because we are so well dressed now. If they are ambassador and high commissioners, all of you. Hi to all of you. Trustees are here. We're driving this together. Hello. We have very important people, as I said on Monday, our donors, especially WDB, you are there. Hi. And we have many other partners. You saw them there. So I will not have many other partners. You saw them there. So I will not mention them. I would just like to acknowledge our planning team, Vatiswa, Stan, and your planning team, all of you. Hello. We have volunteers. You saw those people that you loved so much. Those young people who were smiling at you even when you were too slow for their pace. And they were saying, hey, there are quite a number of mature women here. And we told them, this is Sawid. And if we have members of the media, we are all welcome. And members of civil society. And we have traditional leaders, by the way, in the group here. Hi. And we also have healers and trainers and everybody. This is a gala dinner. And for those who are coming for the first time, it's slightly different from other gala dinners. We sing, we dance, you also participate. So you will see, I hope you are ready for your participation. But I want to say to everyone who is here, especially our potential donors, that we have finished the money. And so, this is now the final straw of your money. Thank you. Thank you for making us so happy. Are you not happy, people? Just show them that you're happy. We really want to acknowledge that. I said on Monday that you are dreamers and visionaries, and you have shown it. The past 4 days, that's exactly as we were sitting and listening, that is what we heard. You have been so full of energy and ideas. We look forward to what you are going to do. Someone, especially the program director, said, please tell us a little more in case there are people who are not there. The long and short of it is women of South Africa decided that after being with the women of the DRC, that they want to continue the relationship across political lines, as you said, to make sure that they play a role in this country of ours, and they have not stopped. So in 2003, those women said, hey, we thank God that in 1994, at least we went to vote, but we have a job to perform, and we want to be counted amongst those who perform that function of on building this country and transforming this country. Mayor Batabile, I want you to know that we said then that we want to be in solidarity and Mayor Emma with men of Sadak and POW. It's in our declaration in 2003. We may not have done well. We promise to do better now. We also said we want to build leadership, and we're very happy that young people are ready to take over so that we can take care of our grandchildren. We have already talked about our tagline, children. We have already talked about our tagline. I want to rush to some of the things we have done for the purpose of our records. We have made sure that we participate in policy. We have made sure that we look out for leadership. We have made sure that we assist sister organizations that are working on gender mainstream, that are working on GBV, that are working on peace, that are working on all aspects of our life in South Africa. Thank you. We also piloted, and I am very pleased that out of this dialogue, people are saying, let's go down. Let's go to the communities on the ground, to the family, because that's what we said we were going to do. And I would like to ask all of you, we gave you books, and in those books we have given you our vision, our mission, our values, and we are saying to you, please live those values. Please role model those values in where you are going to be working on the ground. In 2003, some of the areas included food security. And in this dialogue, have already said, number one, food security. And I think there is also, as was said here, competing with that, mental wellness. So we said to you, we brought you here to heal, to hug, to pray, to cry, to discuss, and sing together. Did you do that? Are you satisfied you did it? You go and do it with other people as well. We brought you here because we want you to commit to other people. Thank you. So with this gala here, and we are going to celebrate, but let me summarize a few things from this week. And we had wonderful 5 days. What we have observed is the amount of wisdom that you have. And please celebrate that wisdom. Please share that wisdom. And I would like to end off by sending you off with a quotation from my religion, Christianity. I love chapter 28 of Matthew. Matthew said, I command you, go out into the world, go to every nation, and tell the people, feed the poor, make the sad happy, and be the disciples of goodness. And we ask you to continue to that. So he has trained us, speakers, volunteers, visionaries, we send you out with blessings and love. Please love one another. The second part of this speech is meant to celebrate someone very special. Someone who has made you, who has made this organization, who has been almost an anchor for this organization. 19 years ago, we had a man called Colin Hall. You saw him, didn't you see the old man of red and blue? You saw him. I hope you remember red and blue when you get home. When we were working with women of the DRC, he was our facilitator, that man. So we respect him. A young white woman, full of energy, beautiful, with a smile, was in the team of facilitators. She tells us all the time that the universe sent her so that she can come to Sawid. And every time she speaks, she will say, I have been exposed, I am wiser. She always says she believes that Africa, and says she believes that Africa, I am a person deeply committed to the of the individuals, of families, of communities, and civilization. That woman is Marte Muller. I will ask her to come as I say more about her. Now Marse is as humble servant of humanity. She is a very hard worker. Even now we call her, she was busy working. And a networker of note to them. She's loving and caring. She's self-giving, etc., etc., etc. 16, 14. And her partner, George, passed on when having a dialogue. She got a message that George had passed away. So, Marte, we have a few gifts for you. Can you please come? And can the little tree come, please?
Thank you, Mom.
There is a tree called speckworm. Do you know speckworm? Speckworm is an indigenous plant to South Africa. It is known for giving out oxygen and taking carbon dioxide. It grows, it is hardy. It grows mostly in the Northern Cape. I adopted that plant because it is a plant of life. So when we thought neighbor must say when because they'll say we didn't send you. When I thought, what can give meaning to Marte and what she says to us? I said, this plant of life, she will take with her, she will nurture it, she will grow it, she will get oxygen, she will get out a carbon dioxide, because this is what she has been to us, in our oxygen. So, please receive our spec warm.
Thank you very much. Very, very much.
And then Marte, how some nigel plant, eat flowers. And then Marte will all how some nigel plant, eat flowers. And then Marte will also receive a crystal of her own. She knows what is in the box, so there's nothing. She bought the crystals herself, but she didn't know she was going to get one. She was preparing for other people. So have your crystal and enjoy it and remember these 20 years. Lastly, we have prepared it and remember these 20 years. Lastly, we have prepared a certificate that she can enjoy with her son at home and put on her wall with love from all of you.
It is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yes. Thank you, Marcel.
So much. Thank you. That was really beautiful.
She is the one we have been waiting for. Oh, where is the picture?
Thank you.
We can help you carry some of your things.
Thank you very, very much. So beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Shall I take these beautiful flowers? Thank you so much.
So thank you. All right, I'm going to use the podium microphone as well. And I want to say thank you very much, Mam Togo Mpumulwana, and congratulations and thank you for all you do, Marte. I chuckled a little bit as I was sitting at the table because Mam Togo was very deliberate in pronouncing your name the German way, Marte. But your colleagues decided to, shout out your name the South African way, Martha. And I think, here's the thing, when South Africans have named you, it's the line of endearment. You're going nowhere. You're here forever, Martha. And so the slogan is, we are the ones we've been waiting for. And it's something that's gay. It's a slogan that young people love to repeat. But there is another incantation of, we are the ones we've been waiting for. And that is, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Young people love to say that we are living the dreams, wildest dreams of our ancestors. And I do enjoy that one because I can only imagine what women of previous generations had aspired to do, had dreamt of doing, but couldn't because of the limitations of circumstance, era, and culture. Generation seizes a mantle. Each generation has its load to bear. But you know that as society is progressing, if with the passage of time, the children can live out the dreams of a previous generation. And so not only are you the ones you've been waiting for, but you're also living your ancestors' wildest dreams. And as we think about the future of Sawid, from this 20-year journey we've reflected on, to what a future Sawid could look like, could the decisions, the policies, the programs, and the conversations you lead ultimately result in what happens here, nurturing the wildest dreams of another generation. And so as we think about the future of Sawid, please can you welcome warmly Ms. Nongubela Mayatula to come and discuss the future sustainability of Sawid.
How amazing it is to be able to stand on the shoulders of giants like Sis Toko, because that gives me the permission to lean on her observation. And I can simply just say, I greet you all. Daily we give thanks for the women who went before us, because it is thanks to them that we have the votes, seats around the boardroom tables, the peel, and the freedom to wear impractical shoes and still be taken seriously. You will recall this if you've read the Guide to Coping with the Millennium. It is a great pleasure to have an opportunity to share the stage with eminent women who have been trailblazers in their personal and professional lives. Watching many of you has inspired me to get involved and contribute to building a better society where I can. I want to be the one we've been waiting for because of your tireless efforts. And today this quest has brought me to the stage where I can stand amongst you and be counted. This 20th anniversary commemoration is a significant milestone for Sawid. The elevated levels of poverty, inequality, and social crisis highlight the need for organizations such as ours, which remain as relevant as ever. Women continue to be seen as passive victims and recipients and are often left out of the fora where our lives are decided upon. This is especially true in conflict, war, and humanitarian crisis. And despite globally agreed commitments, gender equality and empowerment are really high priorities in the national development plans. This is deeply ironic since we are the responders, the ones who keep families together, and the ones who provide and protect. We see this in socioeconomic crisis as well, not just those that are described as war or humanitarian disasters. The fact that we continue to not be in charge of driving our development and are dependent in other rooms where we may not be present is an indictment on society as a whole. I say this because we know that greater gender equality can enhance economic productivity, improve developed outcomes for the next generation, and make institutions and policies more representative. It is therefore crucial that women become part of rooms, tables, and platforms that matter. Hence this drive to use our voices and collective strength to use it more efficiently. And if we're not allowed into these rooms, we must build our own. Despite all that has changed, there is still strength in numbers. And with women being at least 50% of our own country and globally, why are we not able to harness this for our own agenda? Distinguished guests, women's organizations or those representing the women's agenda are important in the civil society framework, which serves as a crucial link between government and citizens. In terms of identifying areas of need where services should be prioritized, and equally in terms of impact of funding and programs. These last few days have been inspiring, and we have re-energized us as a collective, to remain committed to our agenda. Go further to family locating ourselves out there. Pausing now because I actually do want to call everybody to order. Okay. The last few days have been inspiring and have re-energized us as a collective to remain committed to the women's agenda. This will not be difficult for Sawid to do since we have occupied this space for many years. We are also not strangers to being bold and courageous in our contribution to our agenda. Our work as part of international peace building initiatives speaks for itself, and we were able to bring women into these programs where no one else was doing it. Our partnerships have grown since these early days due to our innovative programs, and many partner representatives are here with us today. With limited resources and increasing need, we need to begin to be more strategic about putting our efforts into the 20% of initiatives and create 80% of returns. This is a well-known business and management principle. Although we are a civil society program, this has relevance for us too. We are looking at how we can work in partnerships with others, including business, government, and other like-minded institutions. We often compete for the same pot of funding and resources rather than leveraging off each other's strengths to create greater impact and reach for our programs and interventions. Against this background, I would like to emphasize that Sawid has been hard at work looking at programs we must be spearheading to move the women's agenda forward. We have been looking at how to ensure we have the resources to drive this agenda, both from a programmatic and an operational one. On the programmatic side, we have been looking closely at the Sustainable Development Goals to identify the most impactful ones to which we can contribute and drive, so that we can move the needle on the women's agenda in our country. We know that funding support for women's organizations and for non-government organizations working to achieve gender equality is an important element in many donors' strategies. Many donors are convinced that increasing investment in women's organizations is essential for achieving gender equality, women's empowerment, and improvements to people's lives. We have therefore to do the work of making it impossible for donors, funders, and partners working with us and contributing to our programs. Whilst we acknowledge that we believe Sawid has the correct diagnosis, and importantly, the will, courage, and commitment to do what needs to be done. This conference is the beginning of an onward journey to doing the work that needs to be done, so that when we convene 20 years from now, we can say the numbers have shifted in the right direction, move the needle on the lived experiences and reality of women. In the coming period, we will be announcing how we wish to move this needle forward in terms of resources and partnerships. To give you a glimpse of what is to come, a couple of months ago, Sawid started engaging a number of institutions to look at best practice and gaps in various structures and constructs that could help us sustainably fund women-led startup businesses. We want to do more than provide access to funding. We want to support them and build them into becoming scalable or high-scale businesses that deliver intergenerational wealth and continually, consistently monitor progress and outcomes. Achieving gender equality and women's empowerment is integral to each of the 17 goals. In particular, we'll be looking at our contribution towards SDGs 1, 5, 10, and 17. By way of an example, food security consistently comes up as an issue. And hailing all the way from Norway, which has the sovereignty over Svalbard, as per the Svalbard Treaty of 19, and where the global seed vault is located, I often wondered if we as a country are even cognizant of the fact that we are signatories. Be that as it may, Sawid is rising to this occasion. Be that as it may, Sawid is rising to this occasion and this moment, putting ourselves at the center of the efforts to improve the lives of our sisters and white. Sawid is going to men's issues and women-focused issues. Government and business have a role to play, and from just speaking to doing. We need to stop being apologetic when we ask for support and funding. We need to be bold. And on that note, I thank you very much.
right, so we've got a sense of the journey that Sawid has traveled at inception and 20 years, and the journey that Sawid hopes to travel into the future. And I think we're talking here longevity. We're talking here a lifelong plan, and we're talking about a new era of evolution. So Sawid has moved from being a young organization in a human metaphorical sense and a pesky teenager to morphing into an adult that's ready to stand on its own 2 feet, to face and completely sit back and hope by being silent, you will observe decorum. So ladies, what is the mark of a true African woman? What is the mark of a true African woman? Dignity, yes? Decorum, yes? Respect, yes? Even when you're speaking truth to authority. Courtesy, yes. So could we be a reflection of who we are as Africans? Could there be respect in this room, please? Just honor the women who are here to share with us their and to get to know you better. The party is coming. The wine is coming. The cake is coming. But until then, can we show ourselves and each other the necessary and afford each other the necessary respect? If you agree, aye. All right. Simply put, could we have some silence in the room? And with that, please, can we welcome Brenda Mtambo?
Beautiful to see all of you here tonight. Because of the celebration, I thought maybe this song is going to be fit. It talks about standing in a hard place, but to keep standing. Because I remember, I believe, to enjoy. I don't know how my mother walked her troubles down. I don't know how my father stood his ground. I don't know how my people survived slavery. Standing in the rainstorm, I believe. I don't know how the rivers overflow their banks, and I don't know how the snow falls and covers the ground. I don't know how a race run night or day, standing in the rainstorm, I believe.
The angels woke me up this morning, and I don't know how my blood still runs through my veins, and I don't know how I raised to run another day, but I'm standing in the rainstorm. I believe. My God, He called me in the morning. The power of the universe, it knows my name, and it gave me the song to sing that sent me on. standing in the rainstorm. I believe. Thank you so much.
Use the buffet station
Are you women doers? Are you women doers? Or are you just talkers? You are doers. Okay, now a group of women who have really built illustrious careers, who have been pioneers and groundbreakers in our society. They don't just talk, they walk the talk and they get things done. So may I request that you lend them an ear? Can you do that? Could we do it on the count of 3 and have a huge hush in the room? 1, 2, and 3. Is that a hush in the room? Thank you for that. I'd like to introduce to you a woman you all know. She's been a leader in business, our police commissioner, Maria Piecha, with a few words of support for Sawid.
Bashumi. Bashumi. She is tall. She's filling us with pride. Oh, Riamemula, Sinememulo namhlanje. Sinemhlonyana. She's coming out, and indeed she makes us proud. Congratulations, Sawid. Go on. You are a determined woman. You are a forward-looking young woman. Of women are written all over you. Written all over you. We all cheer around. Give her some ululation so that she can step forward and move forward and carry us on as women. We come here from Women's Development, WB Trust. We are bringing our gifts and our pins. We are adorning this woman and we're saying well done and congratulations and go on. All of us here, bring your 10 rand, bring your 20 rand, bring your 100 rand. Let her go on. Congratulations and happy birthday.
Thank you very much to you, Maria Piecha, reminding us what 20 years is. It is the cusp of adulthood and it is the shedding of youth. It is a woman really becoming her own person. And that's what Sawid is, really coming into its own and being comfortable in its own skin as an organization that will shift the needle in South Africa. Please give a Sawid welcome to Miss Irene Charnley, the president of the IWFSA.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the International Women's Forum South Africa, it's a great privilege for me to be able, on behalf of them, to say a few words on this wonderful occasion, the 20th celebration of an organization we so greatly admire. At the same time, what a challenge it is to sum up our thoughts and our feelings. What a challenge it is to sum up our thoughts, but let me try my best. The words I begin with starts with thank you. Boundless thank you, Sawid, for everything you've done over the last 20 years to support South African women in their struggle to be heard, in their struggle to be free, in their struggle to raise themselves from poverty, in their struggle to support their families, in their struggle against discrimination, inequality, and injustice. You are the standard bearers of hope for a better life, of courage for a better tomorrow, the promise of better world for our children. You are the hands, Sawid. You are the hands that reach out to breach the great divide, to bring down the barriers that keep us apart. You are the embrace that welcomes us all into the circle of trust and belonging. You are the voice that inspires, the ears that listen, the heart that pulses to the rhythms of change. You are the keepers of the flame, the light of learning, the pathways to trust and understanding. Through your tireless, Sawid, through your tireless efforts and initiatives at home and across the continent, you blaze the trail for women from across the spectrum to see eye to eye, to speak heart to heart, to walk hand in hand towards the future of their own making. Sawid, you have shown us that from dialogue comes action. From action comes change. From change comes growth. From growth comes renewal. But the greatest difference you have made in the last 20 years and will continue for many, many, many more years to come is that you have allowed, Sawid, you have allowed women to see that they hold the power to change the world for themselves. In your own words, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Let's all repeat. We are the ones we've been waiting for. You are the ones we've been for inspiring us, for empowering us, for uplifting us, for supporting us, for uplifting us, for supporting us, the people, because of the work you do. Thank you and happy anniversary.
Thank you very much to you, Me Irene Chanley. As I said, the women speaking now, they don't dream, they get it done. And they've been real pillars in our society, in business. They have broken those glass ceilings and they have opened those boardroom doors for other women to walk through. And we thank you for that. And one of the things that Irene has said is you can't lead if you're not a follower. Is that true? You can't speak and dialogue if you're not good at listening. Is that true? So let us be those women who lead by knowing also how to follow. Please also give a warm Sawidian welcome to Ms. Aletta Miller, the UN Women Multi-Country Representative, who will also give us a few remarks in celebration of this 20th anniversary. So Ms. Aletta Miller.
Hi, good evening. You have another letter in the form of Ayanda Mvimbi. So I want to start by saying that happy anniversary, Sawidians. And I want to also repeat what Irene and other speakers have said before us, that we are the ones that we have been waiting for. Mamtoko, the leadership of Sawid, as UN women, we want to express and acknowledge your leadership, your work, the work of coordinators from the different countries, and all the staff of Sawid. We want to celebrate and acknowledge you tonight. I also want to greet each one of you. You all look beautiful tonight. All the activists, the feminists, the change makers that are in this room. These past 4 days have given us a valuable opportunity to reflect, connect, share ideas, re-energize ourselves to continue working tirelessly for the advancement of women and girls globally. As a collective, we have made significant progress and achieved remarkable milestones through our collaborative efforts. This week has allowed us to highlight these achievements. At the same time, it is not mere coincidence that this gathering is happening at the same time that the world leaders are gathering in New York to assess progress on sustainable development goals. This week's Sawid conference has provided us with a platform to engage in candid discussion about the slow progress and what we require to do to overcome the barriers hindering the realization of Sustainable Development Goal number 5 in particular. It is a critical moment and a unique opportunity to decisively address gender inequality. We cannot ignore that yesterday we were highlighting the issue of the gap, of the gender pay gap. And on average, women still earn less than 20% less than men with the same qualifications of experience. Gender violence has unfortunately also become part of our daily lives. And we cannot no longer accept and excuse this. It is time to demand bold actions that will accelerate progress towards Agenda 2050. I want to express my gratitude to Sawid for its exceptional role towards Agenda 2050. I want to express my gratitude to Sawid for its exceptional role in bringing together countries, locations, providing space and tools for us to recharge mentally, emotionally, physically, as well as inspiring us to regionally, physically, as well as inspiring us to redouble our efforts to ensure that it also has been a wonderful platform. Yesterday, President Ramaphosa emphasized that the achievement of sustainment of women in all spheres of life. We call upon men and partners and leaders to ensure that we renew the commitment
To UN women, and thank you for reminding us that it's not just a coincidence that this dialogue is taking place whilst the meetings of the UN General Assembly are taking place in New York, and to really accelerate the advancement for the Sustainable Development Goals with just 6 years, 6.5 years really to meet the targets, and SDGs affect all fundamentally and tangibly affects women. Thank you for that reminder. All right, ladies, so we're going to do a collective exercise. Ladies, we are going to do a collective exercise. We are going to see if on the count of 3, there can be silence in the room. 1, 2, 2.5, and 3. I already know who the worst offenders are, and I'm going to look in there. On the count of 3, ladies of Sawid, we are going to see if we can achieve an absolute, distinguished, beautiful silence that can nudge a baby to bed. 1 and 2. And the chairperson of the
introduced the Kagiso Trust and women from all walks of life. It is an honor to all age groups of women of all age groups, of socioeconomic groups, of all walks of life. And I am glad that I've been given an opportunity here to greet you on behalf of Kagiso Trust. And before I do that, I should add, when Network was talking here, she put it all for us. And I'll also say protocol observed. She put it all, I'll also say protocol observed. First, and express my heartfelt gratitude to Sawid, who have worked tirelessly to bring the conference into being. A conference of this size and complexity, with so many participants, it's not child's play. It must have been a very difficult task, but here we are, it has been brought together. Thank you very much. But here we are, it has been brought together. Thank you very much. Thank you for creating this platform for women to come together, to connect. Thank you for creating this platform for women to come together, to connect and inspire. The theme of this conference resonates deeply with the vision of Kagiso Trust, which says the vision is a prosperous, peaceful, equitable, just society. Therefore, when we heard about the theme of this conference, we knew that we are on the same page, and we are really appreciative of that. And we really would like to encourage Sawid to go that same trajectory and move from strength to strength. Today is not a day of, say, politicking. If there was, I could, but it's a day of celebration. And we are celebrating Sawid. We're celebrating this 20 years of unwavering support for women development in the country and on the continent and in the world. True progress and prosperity can only be achieved when our societies are rooted in peace and justice. And remember, development and peace are two sides of the same coin. They're not mutually exclusive. One cannot happen without the other. Therefore, the theme of this conference is very relevant, especially now when the world is going in the direction that it is going. There are wars and strife and all that. So when we talk about peace and development, really, I think we are relevant and on the right trajectory. As women, we have always been at the forefront of fostering peace and development in our communities. In challenging of times, we have demonstrated our resilience, compassion, and ability to bridge divides, reminding the world that peace is not just the absence of conflict, a state of harmony and understanding. However, much to do. There's still a lot that has to be done. The full potential of women in advancing peace and unequal access to education and is deterred We refuse to be shut out. We open those doors in our soft voices, and the doors then begin to open. Today, we want to thank wholeheartedly, to thank Sawid for all the work that the organization has been doing. You know, when 20 years ago, that Sawid would be what it is today, I'm sure even they themselves are surprised. And I think on that note, we need to really give them a round of applause. And some of you may or may not know that Zanele Mbeki is also a patron. We talk about that, but I think she needs a round of applause. She does good work in our society. In a platform like this, we can reference provides just that. When one looks at that program, you look at all those topics, especially that we're discussing today, and it's quite heartening that Sawid looked at all those topics and said, we are going to squeeze all of them in this conference and not pick up one here, one there, but cash. Commitment, create lasting change, break down barriers, and build a more just and equitable society. Let us seize this opportunity to forge new partnerships and build this opportunity to forge new partnerships and inspire one another. And inspire one another. Together we can create a future where we